I don't know if this story resonated with people the way that it resonated with me, but they caught the Pennsylvania convict that escaped and everything. All right, did you already know about this? Okay, so some of y'all didn't, so I'll explain it very quickly. Very, very quickly, I'll try to give you the rundown on what happened. Basically, there was this guy, and you can watch it, they released the footage of this dude escaping prison, right? He escaped prison, okay? So then this dude walks up. I should also mention, when I saw the escape, I was rooting for him to be like a burglar or like you know what I mean? Like something that you could bank rob or something you could really get in the story. Turns out he's a murderer. So I was like, please find him immediately. Please, please, please. He is killed. He is a killer, all right? And the worst part about him being a killer is he little. So he is a little killer, and that is the scariest type of killer. Bro, you are big. If you stood up to kill me, I'd be like, that makes sense. I'm getting killed by a man right now. You know what I mean? Like if a big man goes to kill, that looks like what he want to do anyway. Like if you a big dude and you kill, that all makes sense. But if you a little killer, if you just walking, I'm like that's... Because I don't know who he killed, what he did, but all I know is he a killer and he little, so it must have felt like Chucky coming at you when he was coming. Doesn't even feel like he take regular steps. He feel like they do that wind-up toy shit, you know what I'm talking about? Where he's like, murder, you know what I mean? And so I was freaked out by that. I was like, once they told me he was a killer, I was like, please catch him quick. So this is what he did. So basically, he walks up to two pillars that are in the prison, right? And he put his hand on one pillar. And he put his foot on the other pillar. Yeah. And then this motherfucker moonwalked up until he got to the roof. I've only seen Jackie Chan do that in Rumble in the Bronx and Looney Tunes. Those are the only two that I've seen moonwalk up two pillars like that. And he did it like it was nothing. And then he jumped off the like side of the building, was on the roof, jumped over that wire, jumped off the building, and then ran into the bushes and stuff. And they couldn't find him because he little. Okay. And this is the worst part. Okay, so he's so little that they locked down everybody. They made everyone in a like a wide radius stay inside. They were like, don't. Yeah, it was where? It was in my parents' backyard. He was in your parents' backyard? Ooh, okay, all right. So I'm gonna tell them the rest of the story, and then I gotta, no, okay. So I'm gonna tell, so then, okay. All right, so then this motherfucker is out, right? And so then they lock everybody down in a radius because they don't want anybody to leave the house because he's so little, they don't know where he could be. So he's so little that he could be under sinks. He could be in cabinets. They have no idea where this man could be. They were like, don't go outside. Don't go for your little run because when you come back in, he could be in your pants leg. He is just that little. This man is tiny as hell, all right? He's so little. Stay where you are. And they even locked down school. And a lot of people were upset and didn't understand why they did that. But I did. I got it immediately. He little. All he needs is a backpack and he one of the kids. Now he's even harder to find. Is he under a sink? Is he in home economics class? Like, where is it? So then, all right. So then this is as far as I know and what I saw, but I'm going to get a little bit more confirmation in a second. So then the way that they found him was also hilarious because then they found him, right? And they were using this like infrared to track where he could be because they knew he was in the woods. And him being in the woods makes the story even funnier. I'm not gonna lie. Because him being in the woods like a Keebler elf, just like a little murdery, like, you know what I mean? So then they get the infrared. Then they find a pattern that they think is him. Then they release the like manhunt dogs, right? And so I'm not a cop. I don't really know what goes into it, but from what I've heard, this might be bad information. I'm just telling you what I heard, all right? The manhunt dogs aren't like the drug dogs. These dogs only get to go out to do manhunt stuff. So if they not on manhunt, they bored, right? So then they release these dogs. These dogs could not be happier. These dogs were out like, yes! The dogs were, you can see it on dogs' face, this is what we play for! This was the Super Bowl for those dogs, right? They were like, yeah! And so then the dog, like one of the dogs caught him, right? And they caught him. Like the dog got him, but got him. Like got him on the head. And the dog biting his whole head is just a testament to how little he is. Like, I'm surprised the dog didn't swallow him. Like, your whole head fit in the dog's mouth like a lion circus act? That's insane. He was in your parents' backyard. So, okay, and for a little while? Or, like, how long was he in? And when he was in the backyard, was he just in between two blades of grass? Like, how did y'all not?
Ran through, and, like, cops let them know the next day, but it was like a night.
Oh, so he ran through your parents' backyard, and then the cops came to your parents the next day, and they were like, listen, he little and he was here. Which is not reassuring at all. It's like for a cop to come to your house and be like, this little motherfucker was here. And we still don't know where he is. He could still be here, all right? Check your collar. Check behind your ear. Is he there? This was the littlest manhunt we've ever been on. It was like they were looking for Stuart Little. It was crazy. In your parents' back, and were your parents, like, freaked out by that? Oh, they weren't freaked out?
We locked our doors, so it was fine.
Your parents are like, we locked our doors, so it's all good. We closed the windows, it's fine. Was your dad acting, like, tough about it?
Absolutely not.
Oh, your dad? Okay. I thought maybe your dad would be like, I'm gonna step on that little motherfucker when I see him. Like, no, wow. Ooh. Oh, it almost feels weird to change the subject now, but I'm gonna try. I know. What do I do now? So, look. Confidence Confidence is not a meritocracy. One of the things that hurts men in their lives more than anything is not having confidence. And some men have so much confidence, and it's like completely unearned. You're like, where did it come from? Did it fall out of the sky and hit them? Was it like an asteroid? Where did they get this confidence? I'll give you an example. This happened last night, right? I was on a walk, right? I had just got some ice cream, a little sorbet, okay? I'm on my walk, I'm enjoying my strawberry sorbet, and I see next to me two beautiful, like truly, truly beautiful women, right? And we're all about to cross the street. And then as I was looking over at them, past them, I saw one of the raggiest dudes I've ever seen in my entire life, right? And he was on a bike, but it looked like a city bike, but it looked like it used to be a city bike. You know what I mean? You know, like when a city bike really been through it to where even city bike is like, you can keep this one. We don't. Like it looked decommissioned. Like it's like it wasn't even blue anymore. It was just busted looking. And he on the bike, right? And so then it wasn't. I mean, maybe it wasn't even a city bike because it had a chain on. Anyway, so he's riding the bike, okay, and he rides up to where the three of us are standing, and he immediately shoots his shot with these two women. I've never had broke bike shooting my shot confidence. And two women who look done up. Like they look like they just got, like it must be one of their birthdays or something. They look incredible. And he rolled up and he did the thing where he tried to slow down and he wanted to swerve on him. You could tell he wanted to swerve, but he couldn't get the handlebars in the right position. So, you know, he wanted to be like he wanted to like, you know what I mean? He wanted to like flip on him. But instead he was just like, how y'all doing, ladies? How y'all doing? And so all three of us turned. I don't know why I turned. Like, but all three of us turned. Like, and then he just proceeded to lay it on thick. He's like, how you doing? You know, y'all looking good tonight? And it's like, it was one of those things where I was like, where is it coming from? But then I thought to myself, I'm like, the place that misplaced confidence really comes from is it's a numbers game. Every man knows that it's a numbers game. And you have to remove your emotions from it because he knows in his head, if they say no to him, that literally just makes sense. So we can only go up from here. You wonder why raggedy dudes try it on with you? It's because they know you should say no. On the off chance you having a bad night, your confidence fucked up, you don't really have hope and you say yes, that's my night. And so they at first they were going to ignore him, but then they saw that the light wasn't turning because we still had 20 seconds on this other one. So we knew it was going to be 20 seconds. So he's like, how y'all doing? Everything good? You want to hang out? What y'all doing later and everything? And then they were like, oh, no, we're good. Thank you so much and everything. And then he was like, all right, I mean, you missing out when you're not hanging out with Leroy. He said his name in the third person. Like, that's the confidence. Anyway, so then he's like, you're missing out if you're not out with Leroy. And then he went to like start up again, and you could tell you want to do the like when you're on a bike and you try to really get one going so you get high on it so you can really come down. So he tried to get high on it, and right then the chain broke, and so the chain broke on the bike, and then he just, without saying a word, just sort of got off the bike and started walking the bike away. He was like, all right, y'all missing out, but all right. One of my favorite like types of stories in the world are snitch stories. You know what I mean? Like when somebody is part of a criminal organization and they turn and they try to like not get caught. So, and I think it's because I'm a snitch. I am. Like, I'm such a snitch that when I was little, no kids wouldn't let me do dirty stuff with them because they were like, you gonna tell. And I was like, yeah, I would. Yeah. You're not even wrong. I really would. I would panic. I'd tell everybody. I'd tell everybody everything. I'd probably tell them stuff that didn't even happen. I'm telling them just to make the story feel full. My favorite snitch story of all time was this guy was in a gang and he got caught on some unrelated stuff. And then he turned state's evidence. Right? So then he started working with police, became a confidential informant, and was giving them everything on the gang as an enterprise. And then the day came that they had planned for so long. He was supposed to give them the time and the place to meet where the stash house was, when the stash house would have the most money, the most guns, and have everybody there. And so the day came, he called the police. Police bust in, and they're arresting everybody, and they're seizing everything. And there's video that leaked of it that then became part of a little documentary on it. And you can see in the thing that the cops, when they're busting in, forgot to arrest him. And so he knows he needs to be arrested. So as the cops are even running past him, he's like, oh no! Ow! Oh my God! What is happening? Ooh! Y'all, they got us. Oh no. And there's a little subtitle on the thing where the man is sitting on his hands, uncuffed, whispering to the cop, motherfucker, cuff me. What are you doing? You trying to get me killed? Man, you all have been so fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm Josh Johnson. This is a beautiful, beautiful time of year. This is my favorite time of year because it's so fresh. I could do anything. I could really be anybody so far, And by January 10th, I'm like, I'm me. Never mind. I had a lot of plans, but a week and a half. It's so early in the year, it's almost weird if you've already had a bad day. You know what I mean? But this is New York, so somebody has. I was on a bus on January 2nd and just heard a guy go, fuck, just to himself. I don't know what was going on in his life. But January 2nd, he was like, it's over. That's a wrap. Oh, it's crazy. I also love this time of year because it's the last little bit of runoff where you're still trying to return Christmas presents. Like the bad ones. Like you on the phone with customer service, like, no, I have the receipt, please. Like it's... And here's the thing, a lot of people give gifts and everything, but they don't know if they gave a good gift to the person, especially if they don't know them well, right? And my thing is, this is how you tell if it's a good gift in this present day we live in. If you didn't get a gift for someone from a store that was looted in 2020, that's not a good gift, I'm not gonna lie. Do you know what I mean? It's a very easy metric now because, look, I'm just saying, everything's free when we looting. And there are brands that know that they didn't get touched. Like, honestly, if I was a shop owner, I would be embarrassed if I showed up the morning after a riot And I get to my store. Nike store ransacked. Louis Vuitton store unrecognizable. And then my store pristine. Not even broken glass. I'd be like, I gotta hang it up. I didn't know it would be like this. Can I burn it down and say it was part of the riot? Cause this is a shame. I remember that was a very specific time. This is my favorite thing about any riot that happened in the U.S. in 2020. There were some stores that boarded up that really didn't need to bother. Like, nobody talks about that, but there are a couple places that were like, oh, we gotta batten down the hatches. Like, no, you really don't. I promise. Nobody is checking for you, okay? There were brands that were feeling themselves. Like, I don't know if you remember this, but you can look this up. This is a real thing that happened. In 2020, during the protests, there were Sweet Greens that boarded up in preparation. Sweet Green. I want to meet the person who made the decision. I want to meet the person who was like, all right, it might get crazy out here in Seattle. And you know it when it gets crazy. You know what niggas love is arugula. So we got to hold it down, all right? Got to protect the inventory, okay? Oh, no need to bother. You know, I said all that to say if you got me a Christmas present this year, a gift card from Sweet Green, you fucked up. That wasn't the move. You bought me grass. Have y'all been watching that Squid Game show? Okay, if you haven't watched it, then genuinely, I'm begging you, don't watch it. Okay, if you don't know what Squid Game is as a show, Squid Game, the show is a Korean drama, all right? It's probably one of the best TV shows that we have that fully encapsulates the idea of capitalism and what we do to each other when we're lacking, when we have need, and when there's literal money floating over our heads, the links that will go, right? And even the show becoming a show is a Cinderella story because the guy that wrote it, he pitched it around the world for 10 years and nobody wanted it. Finally, Netflix bought it. They put it up on their platform. It became an international sensation. There's games, there's toys, there's everything. And then they made the game show, which is weird. That's pretty odd, because that means they also watched the show and they saw what a commentary was on the human psyche when it comes to money, when it comes to access and everything. And then they were like, yeah. We should do that. Yes, we should do that. Let's round up these pores and make them battle it out. We'll get 400 of the saddest stories you've ever heard in your fucking life. It's insane. And this is the other reason that I'm begging you not to watch it. Okay? In the show Squid Game, the Korean drama, when you lose, you die. In the game show, when you lose, a pack goes off. It explodes on you. And it's black. It's not red. It's ink. Squid Game. Very clever. And it explodes. But they still make the people fall like they died. And it feels like they test running killing a person in front of us. Do you know what I mean? Because when I was watching the show, the first person lost and then they fell. And I was like, that's a little dramatic. All right. And then 12 more people fell. And I was like, wait, are they really killing people on my TV right now? Because if they are, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Because they already shot the show and I'm at home. But can we make sure that for season 2, they don't kill anybody? Because I'm going to finish the show. It's compelling. But it's just a weird thing. I don't know. It's very unsettling because they make all these people tell the saddest parts of their life and they cut to them in the show and you know they're not going to win. Why are you telling me this is a physical American Idol? Why are you telling me the sad story and you know they're not going to get far? That's terrible. It would be a dude with the biggest tearjerker you could ever imagine. He's like, I'm just want to bring money back home for my cousin. He's got cancer herpes and he doesn't have a real house. He got half a house. So I want to pay for him to finish his house because he get rained on anytime it rains sideways a little bit. And so I just want to have a full roof for him to be under, not half a roof, because he really got like half an umbrella over his head right now. And so I just want to do something nice for him because he donated a bunch of his bones to orphans. And so he already didn't have a good life to begin with. And then they zoom out
of the person playing the game, and you see he's the shortest man that's ever lived. You're like, he's not gonna get far at all. Physical limitations alone. Why are you getting me attached to his story? Or even worse, they'll interview like a smart woman, and you'll be like, they not gonna let her get far at all. She gonna slip up and say a big word in front of him, and the dumbs are gonna jump on her. She gonna say one of those encyclopedia words that be like, get her out. She look like she can do puzzles. No, so jarred. Are y'all also following this Gypsy Rose thing? Okay. In case you don't know anything about Gypsy Rose, I'll try to bring you up to speed as quickly as possible. Gypsy Rose is a young woman, used to be girl. She was a girl when all this happened. Her mom has Munchausen by proxy, so her mom convinced her she was sick, convinced everyone else she was sick, told people she was sick, raised money for her because she was so sick. So she was like GoFundMe before GoFundMe, right? And so she was like raising all this money and everything. Then Gypsy realizes, hey, I'm not as sick as you're making me out to be. Around the same time that this happens, right? She makes a friend online. They start dating. That becomes her boyfriend, okay? And then she tells her boyfriend, you need to kill my mom so we can be together. I was not in the room when this conversation happened. But the way that I think it went was Gypsy gets close to this person and is like, you're gonna have to kill my mom so we can be together. And then he said, I was planning on killing somebody anyway, because it took so little convincing. This man is clearly out of his mind, right? Killing a mom should be several conversations. You should have to wear me down to kill your mom. If you tell someone, I need you to kill my mom so we can be together, and they go, yup, you are also in danger. That is absolute insanity. He said yes so quick. That's the reddest flag there is. He said it so quick. Once again, I was not in the room, but he agreed to it so fast. I'm pretty sure he finished her sentence. I'm pretty sure she was like, hey, I need you to. He's like, kill your mama, I got it. And she was like, I was going to say pass the remote, but okay. And so then that's what happens. They meet up, and then he kills the mom, and then they get caught immediately. They get caught so fast. I was genuinely disappointed in them. I was like, you couldn't make it a day. You got caught. They got caught so insanely quickly. And so then they're not together anymore, because then they flipped on each other and everything. And it's hard to stay together when you first 48'd each other. Like, but you just immediately like, it was his crazy ass. I said it at once and he did it. And so then Gypsy got way less time than him, and she got out. She's out now. She got like 7 years. He got life, because I'm pretty sure she only had to remind him once. I'm pretty sure she only had to be like, hey, that thing about killing your mama, yeah, it's on my calendar. All right. And look, I'm just saying, the main thing that they did wrong, besides killing a person, the main thing that they did wrong is that they didn't really understand the internet the way we don't really understand the internet. So all they did was have the most incriminating conversations online, right? I'm pretty sure they Skyped at one point. I was like, can you stop doing recordable stuff? And so then she gets out, and I saw like a TikTok of her, wishing everybody well, thanking everyone for wishing her well and everything, saying Happy New Year's. And then she said something interesting to me. She was like, I'm spending New Year's with my dad, my stepmom, and my husband. I was like, husband? And I was just shocked. I didn't know she had a husband. So I looked into it, and she had met somebody, and they got married in 2022, and I looked him up. Have y'all seen the husband? Yeah. Y'all seen it? Okay. That man looks more like the Kevin James meme than Kevin James. I was genuinely blown away. There's a picture of him with Gypsy Rose where he's like, and it's not even a diss. That's just his swag, is that like cheeky, everything. And then apparently some people were coming for him online for some weird reason. I have no idea. And then Gypsy came to his defense, and she was like, it's okay, baby. They're just jealous because the D is fire. You know what? I'm glad you had a happy ending. I'm glad you're okay.
Johnson. when you travel a lot, you know, there are things that happen that are sometimes simply unfair. You know, and I mean past the regular stuff, past a delayed flight or anything. Years ago, I had a flight to Boulder, and I was coming from Chicago, and I had a window seat, and the man next to me was eating a whole rotisserie chicken. And when I say whole rotisserie chicken, I want you to understand, you know when you go to the grocery store and you see with the bubble, it was that. This wasn't just some chicken, it was a whole chicken. And there's nothing like when you meet somebody and they start out nice and then they betray you, right? Because we had a very cordial conversation initially, a very I'm not crazy conversation, then he switched up on me, right? They say that not all heroes wear capes. And apparently not all terrorists have bombs, because the way it started is basically my man was in the middle seat, and you always have to be nice to the person in the middle seat, because if they're in the middle seat, their life is not going well right now, okay? Because this is the thing with the middle seat that people disregard. Whatever happened to you while you traveling also happened to them, right? Maybe you were delayed. Maybe your flight got canceled. Maybe you had to spend the night in the airport. All that happened to them too, and they're in the middle seat. So they're still having a worse day than you can imagine, right? And so I'm always nice to the person in the middle seat. So, you know, we both sit down and everything, and then we look at each other, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? I feel like I'm a pretty cordial person, very approachable and everything. So I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'd love to strike up a conversation and stuff. And he's like, oh, I'm great. And in retrospect, he was great because he knew what he was about to do. And then we just started chatting, right? He was like, why are you flying to Boulder? I'm like, oh, I'm going to do a show. Why are you flying to Boulder? He's like, oh, I'm going on business. I was like, he must love his business. Like, you know, little did I know he was going to do the devil's business, right? And so we are barely diagonal. We're basically one wheel off the ground when he decides it's his time to shine, right? And so this man reaches under the seat. He kept it under the seat because he wanted people to think it was a carry-on, right? So he pulled this chicken from under the seat. I had no idea what it was because it was just in a bag, right? So he pulls this from under the seat, and he really pulled it because I guess it got stuck, so he really pulled it, right? And then he pulls up and he lifts it. And this man is bigger than me. And anytime somebody is bigger than me and making me nervous, I go through scenarios in my head of what could happen next, right? So then he pulls this bag up and he lifts the bag. Now the bag the chicken was hot, right? So the chicken was hot, so there'd been some condensation around the actual shell of the rotisserie chicken. So the bag was clinging to the chicken, so I can't tell what it is. All I know is it's heavy and wet, right? So I look over at the bag, and it's got a little bit of steam coming out of it, and I'm like, that's why he was nice to everybody, because he got a bomb, right? And so then he grabs it from the bottom and starts peeling the bag off of the chicken, and I'm like, oh, okay. I wish it was a bomb. I think a bomb would have been easier for me to manage right now. This is actually going to be more upsetting than a bomb. I can already tell, right? And so this is my other thing too. How did this man get this past TSA? Because there's an organization specifically designed to stop this sort of thing from happening. How did he get this on? Because they took my water. I can't have my water, but apparently he can have 12 ounces of chicken juice. So then he holding it up, right? And I'm not gonna lie to you, even when we were just chatting and stuff like that, I thought he smelled like chicken when I met him. And I felt crazy because I was like, who just smells this much like chicken? I've never been around anybody before who and when I say he smelled like chicken, he smelled like he was the chicken, right? Like he smelled like he had just danced out the oven just now, right? Like he had chicken cologne, right? And so then he's got the bag, and usually I'm a very like live and let live type person, right? Just let everybody do their thing as long as it's not harming anybody, right? And I don't like when things are like exclusion just for the sake of being exclusive, just for the sake of other people not being able to have it, right? Like we made it this price so some people can't come. We made it this price and what. But I will say, I do like, we need to keep planes plane prices, because when planes are bus prices, bus behavior comes to planes. Because when he revealed a whole rotisserie chicken out of this bag, I was like, what in the Greyhound megabus is happening right now? This is not behavior for the air, right? And so then he lays the chicken down on the tray table, and I've never seen this before, because I guess it was a big enough chicken that the tray table actually had some give to it. And I've taken naps on the tray table and haven't bent it back like that. That's an FAA unregulated amount of chicken. And so and I'm not gonna lie, as soon as I saw the chicken, as soon as I saw him put it out to put on a tray table, I tried to dissociate right there. I was trying to go somewhere else. I was like, ooh, I was trying to be anywhere else but right here, because I even put on my noise canceling headphones and just tried to pick a movie and just not be a part of what was happening right now, right? But okay, I've got them on, right? I picked the movie, and I am trying to watch Moana, okay? But all I can hear is the sound of him eating chicken in my... Babies can't get in here. Like... And when I tell you, this is how you can tell it was like premeditated too, because this chicken was still very, very hot, which means he got it right before the flight. That means he went to Albertsons and got a full rotisserie chicken, then was like, well, I have a flight. I don't think that's what happened. I think actually he was on his way to the airport, and he was like, I'm making good time. I got that pre-check. Let me make a stop by Albertsons on the way, pick up a snack, right? And so this man does not have a fork, because a fork would have got him caught, right? He just has the chicken on the tray table, and he is eating it with his hands like he is Henry VIII. And we are at a royal banquet dinner where the queen just gave birth, right? He really ripping into the chicken while picking his movie, right? Just fingers, 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 right? And so in my head, I'm like, what do I do? Because somehow this isn't illegal. See, that's a problem with our lawmakers, right? Our lawmakers write the laws after stuff happened. They're not thinking ahead to things that should never happen and writing a law for that. And likewise, with the airlines, they don't come up with the rules ahead of time. They wait for crazy stuff to happen, then they change the rules. But they should have sent it in your ticket, in your confirmation email for your ticket. They should have been like, hey, also, please don't bring any chicken from home, all right? We have all the chicken you need. The airport got you, okay? Because I don't remember this exactly, and maybe I'm not being fair, but I'm pretty sure the airport we were leaving from had a Popeyes. So he had access to chicken, but he wanted his own chicken, right? He was like, oh, they do it all apart and stuff. Let me get the whole thing. And so then I'm like, I don't know what to do. And so all right. I'm not proud of it. And I want to be clear, I didn't do this right away, right? Because even when he put out chicken, put it on the tray table, we are here. Like, he acted quickly, but by the time I did what I did, he had got down to the bone, okay? So he had a little bit of breast, a little bit of wing, a little bit of thigh. He had a good amount of his chicken. It looked like a crow had got to it by the time I did what I did, okay? But basically, I was like, I can't do this. I can hear it. I can't stop hearing it, right? And so I just pretended to fall asleep, right? Waited a little while. Even gave a couple, right? Because if you do the pig snores, people think it's a deep sleep, right? And so I pretended to sleep. And like, this is my thing. You probably experienced this. When you have somebody, maybe you're dating somebody and they sleep over for the first time and you see what type of sleeper they are, right? Because some people are like little squealers. Some people, some people are snorers, like, right? Some people are thrashers. I've been thrashed many times in my life. Actually, it is weird. You ever be sitting there laid up with your partner and then they thrash you and you're like, was weird that your fist was closed. Like, it's... But anyway, I'm pretending to sleep, right? I even hit him with the right, and then just after a while, I wait a little longer, and then I'm like, and then and I had to like open one eye a little bit to make sure I really got the chicken, right? Because I didn't want to miss, because you're gonna get another chance, right? Like if you miss that first time, he start protecting the chicken and everything. So, you know, I opened my eye a little bit and I cleaned that chicken. Like I Tiger Woods that chicken. So then the chicken flies off the tray table across the man in the aisle seat, right? I forgot to mention there was someone else who witnessed this entire thing. I'm actually very interested in what his perspective was, because he didn't have headphones on, so he heard him eating the chicken in his ear. And I'm telling you right now, if it was bad for me, it was horrible for him, because the sound of a grown man eating a rotisserie chicken with his hands does sound exactly like a dog eating a person. It's just as horrific. The sound will never go away, right? I can hear it right now, right? And so then chicken shoots across him. It hits the tray table not the tray table, the armrest of the other aisle seat, and then it hits the ground, where I think it had some bounce to it because it still was mostly intact. So it was going to move like a chicken would move, right? Now I got to keep my eyes closed again because I'm supposed to be asleep for this, right? But I do hear a muffled scream through my headphones, and I don't know what it was, because once again my eyes are closed. So I don't know. This is what I think happened. We were, as a plane, we were making a little bit of a turn. We were at a little bit of an angle, right? So we weren't still ascending, but we were like dipped a little bit like this. So I think that the chicken hit in the aisle, rolled back a little bit, must have rolled into a new person's aisle, right? And so then it rolled into their aisle, and they looked down, and all of a sudden they got their foot in a chicken, right? And that, because it wasn't a scream like, it was a scream like, and that's... And that's, I mean, any one of us would do that if you were just on a plane and you were minding your own business. All of a sudden, your foot was in a chicken with the bones in it. Like, your foot is in it and it's not coming off. It's a shoe now, so it's not coming off, right? We'd all be like, And so then I hear him through my headphones. He's like, what the hell? Like, he screams, what the hell, right? And so then I gotta pretend to wake up. So I'm like, oh. Oh, what happened? Right? He's like, dude, you knocked over my whole meal, right? He's like yelling. I'm like, oh no, did I? I'm sorry. Can I get you another one? He's like, no, that's the only one I had. I was like, oh, can I buy you something else? He's like, no, I don't want anything. Just watch the. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. My bad. And then I did just have to sit next to that dude on the plane for the rest of the trip. I've never had anyone shoot me dirtier looks than this. He was just looking at me the rest of the flight like. I wish I had a bomb.
We're really in it now, you know? We're really in it now. We have Kamala running, right? You want to know the wildest thing about Kamala running is I saw her first like 2 campaign events, right? And just to have somebody talking regular. Like truly just talking regular. I was like, she might as well have been breakdancing. The way she went up there and said thank you and was remembering names and stuff, she might as well have been hitting that. Like, yeah, it's wild. You know, because some people say that, you know, they don't see Kamala as president, but I see Kamala as president because I thought she already was president, right? And what I mean is, when Biden dropped out, I got a notification on my phone, and the notification on my phone was from a news outlet who worded the news very poorly in the headline, because I was at home and all I saw was Biden's gone, Kamala's in. And gone is you gotta use gone very carefully when you talk about Joe Biden. You can't just be out here saying gone willy-nilly, right? And so when they said gone, I was like, oh, that was the COVID he got. Like, he got the real one then. If he gone, oh no. And then I realized that he had actually stepped away. He had dropped out, and I was like, "Oh, thank goodness!" Because like this is the thing that now that he's out of the race, I do think it's very important to have an honest conversation about Joe Biden, about his presidency, right? Because this is the thing that people forget about Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a granddaddy, okay? So for a president, he seemed slow. He seemed a bit weak and frail. For a granddaddy, he was killing it. All right? Like, really take a step back for a second and think about the granddad. Think about your granddaddy, right? What's on the agenda in a day for your granddaddy? Really be fair. Really be honest with yourself. What do you expect your granddaddy to do in a day? First thing on the docket is to wake up, hopefully. Second, have some jam. Tell some stories. Yeah, I mean, like... Watch some westerns, and then there's some naps to get got, right? You don't fly your granddaddy on 13-hour flights and then make him talk to a whole country and then be like, he doesn't seem up to the job. Like, because Biden was busy just being a granddaddy. Everyone loves to forget that. We went to Biden as a granddaddy, and we were like, hey, we need you to run. And then he was like, are you sure? And we were like, yeah, we think you're the only one that can do it. Please run. And then he ran, and then he won. And then for 3.5 years, nobody did any homework. Nobody did any building up of any other candidates. Nobody did any real research into who was next up. So then, election time comes along. They're like, hey, we need you again. And he was like, I'm more granddaddy now than I was before. They were like, please, Joe, come on, Because that's one thing that I don't know. I look at it and I think that both we and history should remember Biden for doing an incredibly patriotic and courageous thing. That stepping aside is a big deal, right? And it's something that I hope he always knows that we appreciate. For better or for worse, we appreciate it because, some people wouldn't have done that. Some people would have let their ego get in the way. Some people, because this man told the world, he met with world leaders and told them, guys, I'm running, I'm going to win, it's going to be fine. And then he had to drop out, right? Dropped out on a Sunday in a tweet. On a Sunday with a tweet with COVID. And I'm not gonna lie, maybe I'm not being fair, and that's okay, but I was furious at Biden when he got COVID. How dare you get COVID the same week Trump got shot at? Trump got shot at, blood and stuff, and then Biden over here, I was furious. But I really want us, and I think that it's something that I wish more leaders did, because in a weird way, it did feel for a second like they actually listened. Because we had been saying, we were like, guys, I don't feel great. And then something happened. That almost never happens. This is America. And I think there's like this weird asterisk on his political career and on his legacy now, because then people are like, where does he go from here? He's still president for like 6 months, and we're already like, where does he go from here? Oh, that's so sad. I don't think it's sad at all. I think that Biden has a chance to stamp his legacy now. This dude he's done. He said he's done. He's not coming back. He's not running for anything else. He's towards his twilight years and everything. Like this is it. So he has the chance to do what every politician ever promises that they're gonna do. You gotta remember, when people run for the first time, they're talking all that good stuff, right? When people run for the first time, I'm gonna do this, I don't care, I'm not taking anybody's money, I'm gonna do this, and then they get in, and then they get got, right? Then all of a sudden they're talking like an assistant manager zombie. They're like, well, we have to really look at the votes. What did they do to you? But that Biden doesn't have that. He has to worry about a second term. He doesn't have to worry about next position. This dude could have the most radical presidency for the rest of the time that he's in office. He has months left to exact some of the craziest change you can imagine because he's never coming back. This is it. This is what people wish our politicians had, right? Because you don't know who somebody is until they put in their 2 weeks. When somebody put those 2 weeks in and they're still professional and you're like, oh, okay, they really a good worker, right? Most people put those 2 weeks in and they're like, 2 weeks, these nuts. Dude, Biden right now has the power to just go ahead and just drop executive orders like mixtapes. This dude could just straight up say, hey, everybody gets free lunch and come and kill me. Right? Free school lunch for kids. Everybody get maternity leave. How about that? You can fight me in court. I won't be there. You can fight me in court. Right? And then you look at, you look at Kamala and what her campaign's going to be like and what the opposition against her is going to be like. And it's already started in some sense, but you can tell that people don't really know how to attack her. Not exactly, right? Like they're going to try the regular stuff, like the racist stuff and all this. She'll get some sexism. Don't worry, she'll get it. She'll get some sexism. But like really attacks, like things that make you go, ooh, I don't know about Kamala, right? They don't know. And you can tell they don't know because okay. I saw this, the one attack I saw against Kamala, this is wild. Okay, let me see. All right. No, I'm just looking around because I feel like, look, I think maybe only the black people will get it first, but I'm gonna bring everybody along, right? Because then basically there was an attack on Kamala where they were like, Kamala Harris's great granddaddy was an Irish slave owner that went to London to oppose abolition. And then every black person I know was like, yeah. Sorta checks out. There's a reason it's her great granddaddy and her great grandma wasn't mentioned. And if you know, you know, right? That's what's so crazy to me is that I'm not saying Kamala's the perfect candidate at all. And I, she said herself she's gonna have to earn and win your vote and everything, and she plans to do that. But I will say the last time somebody had to go back to the 1800s to attack a candidate was maybe never. That's so crazy. Her great. Yeah. But then you should ask some more questions like, why is that? And then, oh. You know what I mean? Because the only people that caught it are the people who really understand slavery. And that's the thing that's so crazy, is that Republicans are trying so hard to attack Kamala, they may accidentally teach like I thought you burned all the critical race theory books. I've fallen down a very specific rabbit hole where basically I have been reading reviews like it's an addiction. I've been reading reviews from people from other countries. Okay, so they don't live in the US, but they come here from all over the world. And I have been reading their reviews of having Doritos for the first time. And y'all, I think we did crack again because
Because when they come over here, it's people from France being like, I had one, my friend offered me one, and then when I looked down, I don't know how much time had passed, but there were 6 bags on the ground. And this is my thing, like, maybe what we are doing with Doritos is bad, you know what I mean? Because when you read the back of a bag of Doritos and you look at the ingredients, they all are words longer than what should be in food. If you read the back of a bag of Doritos, it looks like the recipe for meth, right? It's just a lot of propylene glycol sounding stuff and everything. So no wonder they come from around the world. They come from Europe, Asia. They get addicted and everything. It's sad to watch. It really is, because then they're in the review. They're like, I just ate so many and I couldn't stop. And then if you're reading it as an American, you like, yeah, like that's. This isn't exactly news or anything, you know. If anything, that's on you for getting 6 of the little bags. You should have got a family size bag. You know what I mean? If it's just you eating by yourself, you get the family size bag. It is fiscally irresponsible what you're doing right now. Just getting 6 bags of the little ones like you gonna stop or something. You can't control yourself. You're in it now. You know? And sometimes I see them. Sometimes I see them over. I'm like, you know him. You know him when you see him because you can check the fingers, right? You know? Let me see your hands. And you see the hands like addicted. What a shame. Because no other country lets their companies do to the people what we let the companies do to us as far as ingredients. Like, we're like, man, it's very good. It's so good. It is good. It's not good for you, and it does have a taste that should not be in a human mouth. And I can tell that because people who have been alive for a long time are like, I've been eating forever, and I've never eaten anything like this before. It's taken me to a place I don't know if I want to go to. And you're reading them and you're like, how is it this serious? But then you actually travel, because like I've traveled around the world and stuff, and I've been to some of these countries that talk about the Doritos, and I can tell they're gonna get addicted, because when I go there and I eat their food, I'm like, yeah, y'all missing quite a few flavors. Your palate isn't ready. And you can tell that because you'll go to like the Netherlands or something like that, and they'll be like, oh no, don't eat what we make. Go to like a Turkish restaurant or something. If you eat what we make, you'll die. Like, don't do it. We make cardboard over here. Your stomach not ready for what we do over here. We just boil the water and eat it. Like, you know, but I was reading, there was one dude from Poland who was like, I don't know what to do with myself. He said, I'm reading it, I don't know what to do with myself. I've had every flavor multiple times. A friend gave me some at a party. They always started like that too. Like a friend gave me some while I was at a party. They started with that peer pressure type stuff. And that's how you can tell it's drugs for them. They're like, my friend introduced me to Doritos. I was young and innocent. Now I've been running up and down town trying different flavors and stuff. And this dude from Poland was basically, this is like on a Reddit post, and this dude was pretty much admitting that he was extending his stay in the States to spend more time with Doritos. He's like admitting to the open internet that he is overstaying his visa to eat as many Doritos as possible. He is risking ever being able to return to the country. I live in New York, and sometimes I'm walking down the street. Sometimes I walk from show to show instead of taking the train and stuff. And I was walking from one show to the other, and I was passing this bodega. And outside the bodega was a dude that was over here like, you know, just standing there, doing one of these and everything. And I don't know. I've lived in some bad neighborhoods, all right? And when you see this, you know their day isn't going well, right? This right here, if you walk up on somebody and they're doing this, you about to be asked for a favor, right? Like, these are not the movements of someone that's just gonna wish you a good day, right? You're about to hear a story when you see this. And so I'm walking by, and as I walk by, he's like, excuse me, sir. I was like, oh, that's different. What's up? How you doing? He's like, oh, I was just wondering if you could spare a dollar or two so I could get something to eat in there. And then I had a $5 bill in my pocket, so I handed it to him. He's like, oh, thank you so much. To get some Doritos. It's like, I'm an enabler. I've been very excited to come to Dallas and spend time with you, make you laugh and everything. I love coming here because I grew up in Louisiana, and so we would come to Dallas a lot. Yeah, didn't tell you which part. And I would visit, Dallas sometimes growing up and stuff, and the thing that we're known for in Louisiana and in Texas is just amazing food. Right? Things that will change your life, things that you won't forget, amazing meals of every type, Like we're known in Louisiana for a lot of the Creole stuff, jambalaya and, gumbo, everything like that. And then in Texas, it's a lot of the barbecue, a lot of good meats and everything. And then you see people in other parts of the country that will start a whole restaurant pretending to do what y'all do here, right? Like pretending to be the same. And then you'll go there. You might even walk into a, real Texas barbecue restaurant in Pennsylvania. And you're nice, you're cordial, because you're good people. And you sit down and you have a couple bites, and then you're like, no. That was good. You tricked me. You got me to come in. That's good. I like what you did there. It's because you got the font right. You got the font on the... But that's what got me. You got the print right on the awning. And, ooh, okay. Because this isn't Texas toast. This is fat bread. You did fat bread. You didn't do any... Oh, you won't get me again, but that's nice. That's nice. Got to give it to you. Wow. And that's the thing. Is that sometimes, you have food that people really believe in, but it is bad. It's just not good. Belief doesn't make a meal, right? And especially when I look online, it feels sometimes like we're lost, And I can tell that we're lost just because of what I see happening nonstop. Also online, because you have a forum, because people can comment, I see people say some of the most beautiful things and some of the most hateful things to each other that we know people wouldn't have the courage to say in person, right? Sometimes you're in person and maybe you want to tell someone how great you think they are, but you're worried about being embarrassed, so you keep it in or you just give them a thumbs up, whatever the thing is, right? But online, if you're never going to meet this person, you can really let them have it one way or the other, good or bad, right? And so I've seen some really hateful comments that I know people wouldn't say if they were in person with the person, right? And when it comes to cooking TikToks, I think some of this hate doesn't go far enough. I think that it's important to really let the people know. You know what I mean? Because you watching whole nasty recipes be made and then people just commenting the vomit emoji. It's like, no. We need to get into their personality. We need to get into their upbringing. We need to get into why they thought this was a good idea. Because they love to do it. They love to make nasty food and then film themselves. No shame. Film themselves making the nasty food that should be illegal. The police should be kicking the door open as we speak. And not only did you not keep this a secret, you filmed it. You did an edit, and then you put it out for the world to see. You self-incriminated for no reason. And all this nasty food is somehow world famous, or it's Nana's. Stop putting bad food on your Nana. Don't do that. You know she didn't bring you up like that to be making this slop. You know that grandma is turning her grave right now, knowing that you're putting stuff like that on her name. Because then the recipes don't make sense. They're like, you could use half a cup of sugar or salt, whichever. And it's like, that's a lunatic. That's an actual terrorist right there. That's wild that you're just telling people that. Why do you believe that?
It's upsetting because then, but back in the day, you know, this is what I'm told by my mom. This is what I was told by my grandma. You know, back in the day, if you had a recipe that was nasty, you couldn't just broadcast it to the world like that, the way the open internet has allowed us to. You had to poison people one at a time. You had to invite them over to your home. You had to say, come on, no, let me cook for you. And then you had to sit them down. And then they had to smell what was happening and decide to stay. It was a lot that went into feeding bad food to people back in the day. And then maybe if you got famous enough, you could have a cookbook. And then one of the cookbooks, maybe you falling off and nobody knows yet because they didn't make it themselves. But now you see people and the videos look good. Ingredients popping up on the screen and then they pop off and then they're chopped. And it's a beautiful thing to watch. But then you see them take a bite of it and you can tell it's nasty because they only take one bite and then the video ends. They don't serve it to anybody. Because you know you've been invited to someone's house that thought they could cook but couldn't. And then you took a bite. You're a good person. So you go ahead and you take a bite and you know when you take that first bite, okay, I'm gonna have to get rid of this. I'm gonna have to figure out a way. If there's a dog nearby, but I'm not gonna swallow. No, you're not gonna get me. You take that first bite and they're like, how you like it? Oh, you can tell you made something nasty if somebody take a bite and then can I be excused real quick? Where's your bathroom at? They just in that bathroom sweating, just like, what am I gonna do? It's a full plate. Oh, it's really horrible what people have done to each other. You know what I mean? It's just with a straight face, too. And now you got people broadcasting. Come with me while I make my Nana's world famous mayonnaise grapes or whatever. And they don't even know there's anything wrong with it because once again, they weren't brought up with sense. You know? The amount of times I've been brought over to someone's house, and look, if anyone goes to the trouble of cooking for me, I appreciate it. You took your money, you bought the ingredients, and maybe you messed it up, all right? Maybe that's what happened, but I still appreciate the effort, right? As long as I don't have to finish it, you know? Because the amount of times I've been invited to someone's house and been fed shepherd's pie. You can tell from your groans, like shepherd's pie is already on the line. Shepherd's pie is crip walking a tightrope of nasty, right? One false step as shepherd's pie has fallen into slop, all right? You can't just do whatever you want with shepherd's pie and make it delicious. That's not how the world works. And I have been fed shepherd's pies that make you go, maybe I don't know how to eat. Maybe I'm the one. You know what I mean? Because I'll bite into a shepherd's pie and they'd be like, what just cut my mouth? Because that's what I hate. If you invite me over, at least know you cook what you cooked. Know you can do the thing that you said you... Don't invite me over and then be like, you know, I just went ahead and threw out the cookbook on this one and just went with the flow. Not with my mouth. The amount of shepherd's pies I've had where I've been like, all right, how good of a friend are they? One time I got invited to a friend's house and he made shepherd's pie and he put he plated us, right? Gave us the bowls of shepherd's pie or whatever and then fed the dog at the same time. And the bowls looked the same, right? And so I was like, what did you do for this to look like this? There's shepherd's pie and then look, I'm gonna lose some of you, but we have to talk about it, all right? I've been invited to friends' houses before where they have served, I won't even say served, they subjected me to their version of pot pie. Pot pie is unacceptable, all right? Pot pie is absolutely insane. First of all, I I knew I didn't have money growing up when my mom would take us to Walmart and we would go to the frozen section and she would grab that banquet pot pie, right? That red box of pot pie. In the only condition where a pot pie looks good is that picture. When they pull it out the oven and they do the slit and the steam coming up. And you don't even see, you see the steam and you see the crust of the pie. You don't see the slop that's happening below. You don't see the insanity that's having that hot sludge with peas and carrots and supposedly chicken. You're not seeing any of that. That's not chicken. I know chicken. Me and chickens are tight, right? I know chickens back and forth, left and right, and that is not chicken, okay? That's not chicken at all. I don't know what it is exactly, but it doesn't have the consistency. That's not chicken at all. Sitting there with a pot pie is disgusting, okay? I remember the first time my mama fed me a pot pie. Went, got it, and put it in the oven, was telling me about it. Oh, I think you'll like it, everything. And then, she pulls it out of the oven. I remember my first bite of pot pie. I looked at my mama and said, Mama, I'm gonna work so we don't have to live like this. Mama, I'm gonna change our lives, okay? It won't be like this forever, all right? Because I know you doing your best. Pot pie, the hot sludge that is under the crust of pot pie. And then I had a friend try to argue with me about pot pie. He was like, no, the crust is the best part. Ooh, okay. Wait, if you think crust is the best part of the pot pie, ooh, I got good news for you. If you love the crust of a pot pie, I got a good word for you today. There's something called bread, all right? Oh, if you love the crust of a pot pie, wait until you meet bread. Bread, when bread comes into your life, ooh, it's gonna change. If you love the crust of a pot pie so much you're willing to endure a pot pie, then get ready to meet toast. You can have dry, crusty, delicious bread that has nothing to do with purple Greek sludge, whatever. Because that's the other thing. It's people's version of pot pie. So I've had pot pies that were just like the standard peas and carrots and chicken or a little bit of beef or whatever. But I've also had ones where they were like, oh, I threw a little goat's cheese in there. I did. This is not up to interpretation. This thing is nasty through and through. Pot pie. Pot pie is white slave food, all right? This is the food of subjugation. This is the food of fiefdom, all right? Pot pie makes sense if this is the 1600s. We don't have to do this. We are Americans. People fly from around the world and overstay their visas to eat our crack Doritos. I've been watching so much news, which is depressing. I mean, it's like they don't tell you about the good stuff. You gotta go find the good stuff on your own. It does feel like, I'm not gonna speak for anybody here, but it feels like, for the most part, I think I feel the way a lot of people feel, which is a sort of disillusion with some of even the process of politics, because we've become accustomed, because we have more access to information than we've ever had, and because we at least see ourselves as more discerning than we've ever been. We feel like we can tell when someone is lying, right? And we've all known and accept that politicians lie. It's to the point now where we don't even really judge who we vote for off of who lied the most. We judge it off of like how many people accidentally told the truth. You know what I mean? Like you look down the ticket and you're like, he got caught in that hot mic. I like that. That was a good one. You know? And I get it. It sucks not just to be lied to, but to when you're lied to, you know, and when you figure it out, you see the manipulation that was at play. And if someone's trying to manipulate you, they don't respect you. They don't care about you. You know what I mean? Even when they say they're doing it for your own good, it's like some of the things, let me decide, right? So we don't like when our politicians lie to us, but I don't know if we really want them to tell the truth either. Imagine a local politician, or maybe your country's representative coming to you and just being like, no, it's bad. I don't think we can recover. This is beyond repair. Doesn't feel great because that sounds very true. I hope you're lying. Some people, offer up the truth even when they don't need to. I mean, and sometimes that's a noble thing, and sometimes it's a very dumb thing. Sometimes it's just an odd thing. Like RFK told the truth this week about... I'll back up. In New York City, in Central Park, in 2014, there was a bear that was found in Central Park. They're not native. There was a bear that was found in Central Park next to a bicycle, right? And no one understood what happened. The police looked into it. The police couldn't figure it out. The internet sleuths couldn't put anything together. It was a genuine mystery, a decades-long mystery up until this week, when RFK Jr., for no reason, told the world, y'all, that was me. That was, I did do that one. So RFK, as he tells the story, apparently him and his friends were going falconing. I don't know what falconing is. All I know is you took the word falcon and you made it a verb, right? I don't know if falconing means you hunt falcons or that you use falcons to hunt or you just talk to falcons. I don't know what y'all doing out there, but you put ing behind it, so I know it involves the falcons, right? And RFK Jr. was on his way to go falconing, and he's on his way, and then he stops in the road because the person in front of him stopped because the woman in the car in front of him had hit a bear and killed it, right? And so RFK gets out and sees that she's killed this bear, and he's like, I'll take it. Which is interesting, right? That's probably one of the last things I would have guessed you'd say when you see a dead bear. And so he takes it, he puts it in his car, and then he goes falconing with his friends, and they're having a good time. I know we're talking about RFK, but for a split second, I want to focus on the woman that was driving, right? Because there are a few shocks that she had to get over within her day. One, you're driving. You're just a woman in the world living your life, and you're driving, and then something runs out on the road in front of you, and you hit it, right? And that is a car accident. Like, we can't forget, this person was in a car accident. Like, I hope she didn't have any injuries or anything. And just a near miss alone can be shocking. It can rattle you for like days or a long time. Depends on what happened. And so she hits this thing and has to get over the initial shock of almost being in what could have been a very bad car accident. And then she gets out and she's like, what did I hit? Was it a deer or something? It wasn't a deer. It was a bear, which is specific. I don't know anyone else it's happened to. And so you get out of the car and you're standing over this bear that you've just hit, and you're also, wow, I was almost in an accident, so I'm shocked, my heart is racing, it's sad, I've just killed this animal. And then RFK Jr. walks up to the other side of your car and stands over the bear with you and goes, I'll take it. Like you were selling it at a yard sale. And so RFK Jr. went falconing with his friends, and they were falconing for a while. Apparently, according to him, they were having a great time. So I don't know if the birds were extra talkative that day, or I don't know what was happening. But they were like, "You a falcon? You a falcon? You a falcon?" And then the falcons, I guess, were like, blah, 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 like I don't know what noise they do. I don't know what they do, but he's over here falconing. And then they go to dinner, right? Where I'm sure they ate a different type of meat. And he's talking to his friends because the reason he took the bear was to skin it and eat the meat, which I didn't know was an option. I didn't know that bears were running around just big ass chickens. I had no idea. And so, he's talking to his friends and he's having a great time at dinner. And then he realizes, I actually have a flight. I can't keep this bear in my car. And apparently throughout the entire meal, when he's talking to his friends about the bear being in his car, no one went, "What?" That never happened. Didn't occur at all. And maybe that's just how they roll as friends. Maybe RFK had a bear in the back and his friend was like, "I got 2 giraffes." Like, hey, you know what it's like when you get 2 giraffes in the back of your car and they get all knotted up and everything. You gotta take them home and then unwrap them like some headphone cords, And so then RFK decides that, he obviously can't keep the bear in his car, and he has a flight and everything, and I guess no one else wanted the bear. And so he went to Central Park, and as a joke, this was like a prank that he was doing, he left the bear with a bicycle that he also had to get rid of. I don't know how big his vehicle is. How big is your vehicle that you got a bear in there and you have a bicycle at the same time? So then he leaves the bear and the bicycle in Central Park and then goes and has his flight and goes wherever. And the next day, no one really got the joke. Like, no one really... The next day, everyone was mostly confused. They were like, so... did someone hit the bear with a bike? Or was the bear riding a bike and then decided to die? Like, was the bear on a bike and then was like, "This ain't for me"? You know what I mean? And so no one knew, no one put it together, no one solved the mystery until now, because RFK Jr. came clean. Because he was the only one that knew. The other reason that no one solved it until now is that the woman who, let's go back to her for just a quick second. I think the woman that hit the bear and then gave it to RFK or let him take it and then went about her life, she also didn't come forward, because I think the next day when she turned on the news and saw the bear in Central... she had to have been like, "Nah." There's no way. I like to think that from her perspective, she hits the bear, RFK takes it, she goes about her life, but then the next day she thinks that RFK thought that he needed to make it look like an accident. Like,
Hello, everybody. It's me and Josh Johnson, and me is Dulce Sloan. I'm not good at doing these intros, but I feel like Josh has been doing a lot of heavy lifting, and I'm feeling like a crumb bum over here, just letting Josh do all the work.
A crumb bum? A crumb bum?
Yeah, it's like we're co-hosting, but I'm like, if we're co-hosting, like, I gotta do some of the work too. You know
I just
what I mean?
never heard that before. I've never heard crumb bum.
Oh yeah, crumb bum. I think I heard crumb bum is almost like a yum yum, where it's like somebody, like, you ever know somebody that's just always like, they have the means, but they're always like just asking you for food.
Yeah.
Because it's not like the the girlfriend saying, "Oh, I'm not hungry." It's not the same thing. This person is eating.
Yeah. They're eating well.
Right. But it's like it's like, you know, do you want your cornbread? It's kind of like
Crumb bum.
a crumb bump.
We're so excited to bring this episode to you, the public, because it's one of contention. It's probably gonna be the one that gets listeners the most fired up out of the ones that we've talked about. Because
Other than ketchup being tomato soup.
hey, let the past be the past.
Have you looked at the YouTube comments?
I will never look at those YouTube comments.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what. That's one of the first things you learn as a comic is never look at the YouTube comics. If you're someone who's on TV,
Yeah.
never look at the YouTube comments. And I can tell you the ones that I've looked at, I don't know if there's a filter that goes through, because usually if you're a woman that looks like me on the internet, someone's calling you fat. Someone's taking the time from their American heathen day to type into Al Gore's internet that I have more than one chin. And one, they're not doing that unless someone from our team is just going through and being like, nope, nope, nope. Or YouTube finally cares about people, but I don't think that's happening. And wow, people are not feeling, because somebody was like, yo, Josh, I get it. You were trying to win, bro, but tomato soup being ketchup, I think you've gone too far, baby. I think you've really affected hearts and minds, Joshua.
I mean, all right, never mind. All the other episodes, it's like we're kind of deep now. Like there's so many other episodes where I make salient points, and then this is the one that really sticks.
People have
with
mentioned
people.
that. They're like, man, Josh has made so many other great points. What happened?
Okay.
Yeah, it was interesting because they're like, yo, dude, I know you were trying to win, but you were too far. You went too far to the other direction. You went too far to the left, bro. Left, right, up, down. You did too much. And so
I mean, this is the one that I will really affect people.
Well, I think it's interesting because the topic for today is chocolate versus vanilla. Mm-hmm. And first of all, I just want to take a second. If you were watching this on YouTube, stop the video after I ask this question. Who do you think is going to go for what? Do you think Josh is going to pick vanilla? Or do you think I'm going to pick vanilla? Do you think Josh is going to pick chocolate? Or I'm going to pick chocolate? Who do you think is going to pick what? I'm going to give you a second. So, just to let you know, this is chocolate versus vanilla. And guess what, y'all? Your girl, okay? Spicy Calderon. Your girl's team vanilla. Ha, you didn't see that coming, did you? Did you? You didn't think that me, old what's-her-face, was going to be picking vanilla. But I did. Isn't that wild? What a twist.
So help us out. Help us by explaining why vanilla for you.
I think vanilla for me, one, it is an ice cream flavor that I grew up with because my mom likes to add things to ice cream. So we would get the pecan sandies. Mm-hmm. We would put those in ice cream. Sometimes just as simple as, throwing in your favorite cereal. Maybe putting your own little fruits. Vanilla was the carrier for flavors, right? Some of my favorite ice cream flavors, like Moose Tracks, the base is vanilla. Like those flavored ice creams, like I never really got into Ben and Jerry's, mainly because it was expensive. But if you give me a Bluebell situation, you give me a Mayfield situation, a Mayfield Moose Tracks, a Mayfield Turtle Tracks, okay? If there's tracks, I'm eating them. If an animal is out here putting his imprint on the planet with caramel or chocolatates, put it in my face, okay? I like vanilla. Basically, when I think of vanilla, I think of ice cream. And there's different types of vanillas. There's different kind of carrier flavors. One thing I used to really love to do is when we go to the Chinese buffet, because you grew up in the South, there were always Chinese buffets. At the end of the meal, you go get your little soft serve ice cream, and then I would add a little lemon juice, like a little fresh squeezed lemon. That was a nice palate cleanser after eating all the variety of things you eat at a Chinese buffet. I do honestly prefer it over, like, in cakes. I don't prefer, like, I've never had a chocolate birthday cake because I've never wanted a chocolate birthday cake. I've made chocolate birthday cakes. I've made chocolate cakes for people.
I guess this is my thing. This is where I feel like you are so misguided.
Wow, what the hell? Good night.
This is where. So I look at vanilla as one, right? As like if we are talking flavors, vanilla is the number one as far as units of flavor and taste. Okay. It's where you start. It's a good place to
You're telling me a
start
scale from 1 to 10.
from 1 to 10. And I'll even say this. People give vanilla a 0. It's a 1 because it is a flavor. It's not plain. It's vanilla. Right?
Right.
But you can't really enhance it. Like you said, it's a character. It's just
a carrier.
Oh, okay. It's a carrier. So then it's a platform for other flavors. It's not a real flavor that's out here striking joy into hearts and minds. It's just out here helping cherries and sprinkles get along.
But it's also, did you think about it as a collaborator, a peacekeeper, a helping hand to bring different flavors together?
How about this? I've enjoyed a triple chocolate cake. You can't have a triple vanilla anything because vanilla's vanilla. It's 1, and you can't multiply 1 times 1.
You can have a vanilla. Well, I mean, it's not triple, but you can like have a vanilla cake with vanilla frosting. That's a thing that exists.
It's a thing that exists that all tastes the same. It's just a steady attack on your taste buds where you're getting overwhelmed with the vanilla.
Listen, I presented my case. Okay. Now you present your case.
Okay.
Your very predictable case. Being Team Chocolate.
My very okay. All right. Chocolate came to us, blessed us, was discovered in multiple countries. All right. It came to us from multiple parts of the earth.
No.
You know, the
came
cacao.
from the New World.
What?
New World.
We talking about New World?
Sir.
It's all been one world the entire time.
Ma'am.
It's all been one planet. I'm not. No. Don't pull from that colonial history. The whole world's been the whole world the entire time.
The whole world has been the whole world the entire time. Yes. In God's eyes, he built one planet. I get it. It's these white folks with books that made it new and old. So they ain't known about chocolate. Are we trying to say that they know about chocolate? You're trying to say that chocolate was not in the it's in the conquered countries, conquered continent.
I mean, all I'm saying is what they called the New World was really the old world because they just hadn't discovered it yet. But it had been around.
And that's why we call Native American Indians, because somebody didn't know where the fuck that was at. I hear you.
Yeah.
I got you.
I'm just saying that chocolate doesn't come from one specific area or country in all of the world. Lots of countries bring us chocolate and they bring us their spins on chocolate. And they bring us,
Have you seen that Ghana has told these white folks that you are no longer going to take a raw bean out of here and then process it on your own? We're going to process this shit and you're going to have to pay us. Ghana is not playing with these hoes. Ghana, the president of Ghana, he is not playing with these white folks no more. You understand? He's like, y'all not going to be coming up in our country and taking shit. If you want this cacao, you have to come to us. You ain't getting raw beans. We going to process it and then give you that shit. Because you've been in here you've been getting uncut, the raw, okay? And don't want us to have no processing plants. Old boys said, fuck y'all. Keep praying for them. I'm worried about his safety. Because these white folks are a problem.
So all I'm saying is chocolate comes to us at different degrees as well. So you can see the percentages. They tell us the percentages now of cacao in the chocolate.
Absolutely. And that just lets you know how stepped on it is.
I understand, but that pure, right? So those bitter sweets, those 75%, those 25% and those Hershey's, they all have different flavors. They're all coming from a different place. Vanilla, it can't get stepped on because it comes out stepped on.
Have you ever seen a vanilla bean?
Yeah, I've seen a vanilla bean.
But that's an old world plant. So you have to remember, like at one point, we think of it as very generic because we have all the things here.
And because
Like-
it is.
But at one time, sugar was exotic. Because motherfuckers didn't have sugar.
I mean, if we have to go in the past for vanilla to have a leg up,
Sir,
then like,
we just went to the past about chocolate. We just went to the past about chocolate. I'm not saying at one point all of these things were exotic. Italy didn't have noodles until Marco Polo came back from China. If it was not for the Chinese, the Italians, what would they be making? What are they cooking? What are they famous for? Gives a
real
fuck.
good meatballs.
And
Like as far as meatballs, fire.
sidebar, check this out. Tomatoes, New World plant. Noodles came from China. If it was not for somebody leaving Italy, what would they eat, bro?
Real good meatballs.
All olive oil, everything. So yeah, I'm just
Fire.
saying, fire meatballs. Fire. This bread though.
So I'm just throwing it out there. Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there that there are different degrees or different levels of chocolate. If we're just even going to keep it to bars, right? These bars, a vanilla bar is
Why are
fine.
you saying that so hard?
And a chocolate bar, that's how we want them. That's how we take them. That's how we love them.
Okay.
Chocolate bar. And how many types of chocolate bars are there? The most you're going to get out of vanilla bars is cookies and cream, which is still getting a little chocolate in it to help it along because it's struggling.
Vanilla is a bean. So you can't turn vanilla into a bar because it doesn't even have, it's like, if you think of all the things we do with like different beans, like soybeans and stuff like that. Vanilla is like, it's dried and you're just taking the seeds out and it's very much like an extraction process. But there's no, like, I did not know probably until I was almost in college that cocoa butter comes from chocolate plant. I didn't know where cocoa butter came from.
Okay.
So like if you ever had like white chocolate, white chocolate is basically a stick of cocoa butter from what I've heard.
I mean, that I don't know enough to correct you, but the fact that you don't get any dark vanilla, but you can get white chocolate, just another way that chocolate is being more versatile in these streets. It's just another way that chocolate is coming at you in different colors and different flavors. I just think chocolate can go places vanilla can't.
That's an apple and orange situation. We're talking about flavors, right? 'Cause I think for me, I don't like white chocolate. I like milk chocolate, but I have found out that by going over, going to Canada, going to Europe, going to Mexico, the rest of the world hates our chocolate. Apparently it's disgusting.
No, we're not doing well.
I did not know that our chocolate was trash. I did not know.
I've known for a long time that
I can say that
Yeah.
I've never been a huge fan of our chocolate, like a Hershey bar. No, I don't want that. I don't want to eat a whole bar. First of all, a bar of chocolate always seemed like way too much.
But that's why they have the little divots for you to break it off, for you to have as much as you want to have while you're having it.
Because they know the whole thing is just ridiculous.
The
Like,
whole
all of
thing
this-
is too much. Yeah.
Right.
The whole thing. Like you break it per serving size.
And
So
they-
even a
they-
Hershey bar, break 4 of those little things. Have that. Save
Man,
that.
2 is my max, and then eventually I'll wrap it up and set it somewhere and go, either it's in the fridge for the rest of my life, or it's not. White chocolate isn't even really chocolate. It's chocolate that they've taken the cocoa out of. So there's no cocoa. It's just fat. And then they've injected chocolate flavor into it.
I
do
see.
that.
No. I see the point
do that.
that you're trying to make. But what I still see is vanilla struggling so hard that chocolate had to
Vanilla
do
is
a
not
plasma donation.
Wow. Or maybe
on behalf of the white colored candies.
Or maybe vanilla doesn't have to go with Sammy Sosa. Okay? Doesn't have to be the last generation of Michael Jackson to be out here doing his job, okay? I don't want to bring Michael into this. Sammy Sosa, we all know, looks like a thumb. Doesn't make any sense.
Don't
Okay?
don't act like I'm making you do these things. I
If
didn't want to have to. Like you're pulling out all the stops now. Because of
Vanilla
something
knows who Vanilla is, and Vanilla's like, listen, I'm flavoring things, okay? I'm giving you, because look at this, the nature of the flavors, okay? Chocolate is heavy, okay? It's gonna sit on the tongue, but there's a fat content, there's oils behind it. There's a lot of things that chocolate is doing because there are different aspects to it, right? Like, for vanilla, on the other hand, hey baby, I'm a bean and you put me in shit, okay? I'm doing cakes, I'm doing creams, all right? I'm giving you, it's a whole different campaign. There's way less processing when you're dealing with vanilla. No, there's no vanilla bars, because if you try to make a vanilla bar, it'd be like a white chocolate situation where you need some type of base and then you're injecting flavor. But that's not how vanilla works. Vanilla is giving you a lightness, okay? Chocolate came in to be heavy. Chocolate came in to step on your feet and be like, hey, what's going on? What you doing? About to fuck up your teeth, okay? No kids going to the dentist or the dentist, okay? Ain't nobody sitting up getting caught with vanilla all on their face. It's not happening. Vanilla has better press because vanilla is a more refined situation. Vanilla's not out here in your whole Halloween. That's what Vanilla's doing. Vanilla's a classy bitch. All right, Vanilla sitting down is like, hey, yeah, Vanilla can't be in everything. Okay, you got triple chocolate cakes. You got chocolate on chocolate on chocolate on chocolate. Vanilla comes in, boom. That's the flavor. There's vanilla, and then there's a little vanilla bean. Chocolate, on the other hand, is letting you know it is stepped on like a motherfucker. Chocolate is letting you know, hey, I can be bitter, I can be sweet, I can be stepped on. All it is stepped on, okay? We know American chocolate. Okay, sidebar. Also, we have to mention this one thing. Have you ever had a chocolate orange?
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
That was fine.
I think that's a flavor you have to grow up with.
No, I can see that because the people who love it have always been eating it. That's very fair.
And they're not American at all.
They also love to crack it to like open it. It's like an event. Like that's how you can tell that they grew up with it because they love to press down, which opens up all the slices and then they eat it.
I mean, as things go. But I was annoyed, one, when you bite into it that it's hollow.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing. I'm like, I thought there was going to be an orange cream situation. I thought this might have been a Cadbury situation. I thought they were going to give me more, right?
Okay.
They said orange, a chocolate orange. I thought that it was going to be more than just the shape of a fucking orange. But it's kind of cool that it's in slices. You can distribute it to your friends or to your children, right? It's cool. It's whatever. I'm just saying, I've had a whole type of chocolate. Listen, what you're not going to do, because I know what you're posing. I've met you. I know what you're posing an argument. No.
What I'm not going to do, just for the record, this is unedited. I was being quiet. I was listening. And then out of nowhere, I get what you're not going to do.
I know the wheels, nigga. I know the wheels. And the wheels on this bus were eventually going to get us to the chocolate room at Harrods. That's where these wheels were going to go. Because
I wasn't even thinking about it.
What? That you don't know how to do this right?
No. I wasn't even thinking about it. I'll tell you why. Because I was going to let you punch yourself out. Because in my mind, yes, there are some situations where we're talking apples to oranges. But it's apples to oranges because chocolate can go so many places that vanilla can't. All right. You talking about not all go up in people's Halloween. Let's talk about the fact that really a lot of people don't even want vanilla like that. So vanilla can call itself classy. It can call itself sophisticated. It can call itself particular and choosy. But nobody is choosing vanilla. When was the last time you saw a vanilla fountain at a party? Help me.
You can't, because vanilla doesn't come. Because vanilla doesn't come in a liquid form like that, okay? That's not happening.
Sounds like it's not versatile. It's not
versatile. It's not the best you've heard in a while. What I'm saying is that Thank you for getting that reference. Mercy child, don't just shake, it's record with style. What I'm saying is that because of what vanilla is, also, you know that chocolate in them damn chocolate fountains is never high quality. It's never great. It's never good. Come on. Don't be using chocolate fountains, nigga. They got nacho cheese fountains too. Okay. I don't know if you ever saw. Have you seen this clip from TLC? Which woman talking about her wedding and she wanted a ranch fountain. She wanted a ranch fountain, Josh. Honestly, I want to see it. I want to see a ranch fountain. Okay. I'm sure they have a marinara sauce fountain. We out here putting anything liquid in a fountain.
I honestly think a marinara sauce fountain can't happen because it would be far too splashy. Like you can't even approach that thing without messing up your whole shirt.
It is splashy. You need something that's that makes me think that a ranch fountain would be splashy too.
It might be, yeah.
Because you need something that'll come down in a ribbon. You need something that'll hold its shape.
Something beautiful and smooth like chocolate. I'm with you. I understand.
Nacho cheese. Something that when it's room temperature is solid. That's what I'm talking about.
You know that this is tantamount to terrorism, all right? Because
terrorism is ketchup is tomato soup. Salsa is tomato soup.
Honestly,
call Bin Laden. You are his predecessor. You are his greatest student. When you sat up and looked me in my Christian face and told me that salsa was tomato soup.
Look,
fucking savage.
look. All I'm saying, all I am getting at, all I am approaching you with,
okay,
is the fact, the
adulterated,
mitigated, no. The unquestionable fact,
not questionable, bro,
that chocolate is going places and doing things that vanilla is too limited to do.
I think about this. You know how we're all into all these nut milks?
Some of us are, yeah. Some of us know what a lie is.
True. It's juice.
Yeah.
It's juice.
Yeah.
I want us to stop doing this. You had to blend up these cashews and squeeze them. Juice.
Yeah.
Also, why is there no peanut milk? Why we pick these very specific nuts?
Yeah. We need some peanut juice out here.
And there's a peanut juice. Is there pistachio milk? You know what I want to like?
I think so.
Is it? That sounds expensive.
It sounds it sounds very expensive because if you've even held eight pistachios, you've held $6.
So there's never going to be macadamia milk because that's going to be $150 a gallon.
That honestly, macadamia milk is what I feel like rich kids get with their babies.
That's so funny.
Just a buttery milk.
All I'm saying is that because there is yes, chocolate can do different things than vanilla can do because of just the nature of the plant, right? Like an orange tree can do more than an oak tree. Oak tree just standing there, putting shade in your yard.
Yeah.
Orange trees give you fruits. Mm-hmm. Oh, somebody was like, I found out that some cities, you know how people have like tried to say that like the trees that are in cities should be like food bearing trees for like people in the population who are having like, food issues, like food scarcity or whatever, or people who are unhoused. There are a lot of cities that don't allow you to have fruit bearing trees in the city because for that reason, they're like, no, we don't want people to be able to.
Oh, it's wild.
That's wild. Like every tree, like I get if you're in fucking Oklahoma or like Colorado trying to grow an orange tree, that makes no sense. But just have it like appropriate to where your climate is. People are evil. Anyway, for the same way that oak tree can't do what an orange tree does, because of the nature of said plants, vanilla is not going to do what chocolate does and vice versa. You see what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying.
The reason I've never been a huge chocolate fan is because first of all, like first time I had like European chocolate, I was like, oh, this is so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not what we have. Also, whoever put chocolate and peanut butter together, God bless that human being, because that is fucking delicious.
I wonder what happens when you put vanilla and peanut butter together. Do you just throw up immediately, or do you like? I'm just saying. I don't know.
Those are two competitive. Some stuff don't work together. Chocolate and vanilla don't work. Like, listen, you ever as a kid got Neapolitan ice cream?
Mm-hmm.
My question is, which flavor was always left in the container when you got Neapolitan ice cream? What was the last one? Was it strawberry? Because my house was always strawberry.
I feel like it varied based on
who was in the house.
Yeah. I feel like after the divorce.
Interesting.
Yeah, I feel like my dad ate the chocolate the fastest.
Okay.
And then when it was just my mom and I, the whole distribution was just different. Like you would just see, it looked like, like when you're playing music and you got a little icon with the levels in it.
Yeah.
The race to the bottom just looked like that movement. So I'm trying to think of what was like last.
I think for us, it was always the strawberry. But I can say my mom, and I loved it, would buy, you remember those huge tubs with the handle on them of the vanilla ice cream?
Yeah, I think so.
It was a plastic tub with a red handle on it. My mom would buy that when I was a kid. And so, because I remember as a kid not liking how chocolate ice cream tasted because it had a weird ass aftertaste. And even as an adult, having tried very expensive chocolate ice cream and, gelatos and shit, and being in like nice ass places, traveling the world, I still get that weird ass aftertaste from a chocolate ice cream. I think sometimes chocolate cake. I think I like a lighter. Now, I love a brownie. Brownies are my jam, because brownies for me seem to be the right balance of chocolate to other things. But like chocolate cakes, I'm not always like a chocolate cake. That's too much. I need something else to like break this shit up.
Can I offer up one extra thing?
Try it.
I don't think that when you go to other countries, you get the good vanilla. I think that what's happening is the pinnacle of vanilla we've already tasted, and it's fine. And then you go to another country and you have their chocolate.
What do you think the pinnacle of vanilla is?
I think the absolute best vanilla I've ever had was something that really brought out the flavor of the bean. And it did complement the other flavors that were with it. Because what are your favorite, just as an example, what's your favorite type of vanilla pie?
What do you mean vanilla pie?
Like, do you count cheesecake as like a cake? Do you count it as a pie? I'm trying to think of times we put pies with lots of vanilla flavor.
Why don't we put vanilla flavoring in cheesecake?
Because you know how you can have a chocolate pie.
Yeah, like you can have a chocolate pie, you have a chocolate pecan pie, you can have a chocolate pudding pie.
Yeah.
Banana pudding is a very famous vanilla flavored situation. There's bananas in it.
There's bananas in it, and sometimes those bananas completely overpower the vanilla.
Oh, I am the person that always picks the bananas out because I don't like bananas. I love plantains.
That's for another day. Wow. That's you heard it here right now at minute whatever of this episode.
Yeah.
Plantains versus bananas is gonna happen.
Oh, you know what? Our next episode, plantains versus bananas. We're doing it.
Please,
you ready?
Please don't.
You ready?
You
ready?
set yourself up. You set yourself up.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on. Come with it.
I don't think you're really ready to lose back to back.
You're not ready to lose back to back. Your greatest failure was salsa is tomato soup.
Mm-hmm. Episodes ago, you're still clinging on to that old.
Ma'am, that was not episodes ago. Okay, don't do that, ma'am. Don't do that.
when you even have a topping, there's not that many vanilla toppings that go on to chocolate ice cream. But there's lots of chocolate toppings that pop, 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 pop all over that vanilla scoop. Okay?
So you're saying that there is no vanilla toppings.
Just not many.
What if chocolate is just loose? What if chocolate is just for the streets? What if chocolate is doing too much? What if chocolate... Chocolate's doing too much.
No. You are
What
not
if
gonna
chocolate
call
has-
my
No.
delicious
No.
mocha, my delicious dark, my delicious milk. You're not gonna call all of my chocolates hoes. That's not what's gonna happen.
I'm just saying that it had to be so versatile because it could not focus. It had.
We
be
need
not
to sit
versatile.
down and pray
It
for your
gave you-
loose, your plain, your basic vanilla. That's what we need to do.
What if chocolate is doing all of this because it couldn't? There's no refinement. Okay, maybe it's giving you. Maybe it's McDonald's. Okay, maybe it's McDonald's. Maybe it's out here just throwing anything.
You need to slow. You need to slow where you're going right now
I ain't
because
gotta
you're
do
about to
nothing.
crash. All right,
I ain't gotta
you
do
about to crash. You sound
nothing.
as someone who was the tomato soup. You sound like the tomato soup right now.
Don't you
because
dare!
when you say,
but I know
when you
chocolate
say,
is still chocolate. I know chocolate is still chocolate. I'm not finna sit up and say that. Listen, salsa will never be tomato soup. Okay,
when you
chocolate
sit
will
there,
always be doing all of this out here. Okay,
when you say that what if chocolate is McDonald's, please remember, please remember what flavor a McFlurry is and is
Vanilla.
only vanilla.
and then you just add stuff. It's like a Blizzard at Dairy Queen. It's a base. It's giving what it can do is it can give you other things, or it could just be an ice cream cone. One of the first time as a child that you was able to use a machine. From the first time you saw an ice cream cone coming out of a machine, it was vanilla or vanilla chocolate swirl. But it was vanilla day one, baby. Vanilla been here since you had teeth.
That's simply not true. It was vanilla or chocolate or the swirl.
Hey, you out here? So your machine had 3 nozzles. Congratulations! Look at God.
And look, I know what you tried to do. You tried to get me to go off the rails, and it's not going to work.
No.
It's not
going to
work
rails
because
the rails are fine and established. All I'm saying is you are really coming at me like you own Hershey's, like you own Lindor, like you own all of it. Don't mean nothing to me. Okay?
No, name me one of the vanilla companies. Go ahead.
What you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? You just started rattling it off. Chocolate companies. Tell me those great, beautiful, powerful empires of vanilla.
What?
They don't exist.
Madagascar, baby.
The country?
It's their you said empires. That is their McCormick. Okay, that's who's out here giving you vanilla. But this is the thing. I named chocolate companies. You've never had. You can buy vanilla beans, right? Mm-hmm. And do whatever you need in your life. Okay. Mm-hmm. You can't go pick up a bag of cacao beans. That's not happening. You got to process this. You just can't show up and be like, hey, let me get that pod. Let me get that giant bean and get the seeds out. Dry these seeds, ground them, add sugar, because what you have to remember is that you've never had chocolate in its pure form. Chocolate is not sweet.
It's not about being sweet. It's about being delicious. It's about being versatile.
And all they do is add sugar to it. When they do something with a vanilla bean, you infuse it with a cream. You can have that vanilla flavor. You ever had Baker's chocolate?
The bittersweet?
No. Baker's chocolate.
Just the big brick of chocolate.
Yeah, but the thing is, Baker's chocolate is actually the true form of chocolate because there's no sugar in it. We all remember the other episode of Roseanne where DJ bit into Baker's chocolate. He's like, ugh. And we were like, she's like, yeah, I tried to tell you 6 times. So what I'm saying is chocolate in its raw form. Mm-hmm. It's not good till you put sugar in it.
That's simply not true.
Have you had plain chocolate?
I have had plain chocolate. And
No,
I've also had the darkest of dark chocolate from.
They still put sugar in it.
No, I know, but that one, when you go to like Ecuador, you go to these countries that do the 95%.
Oh, so for you to prove this point, you had to go to Ecuador?
I didn't have to go to Ecuador. I'm simply saying that at every level of putting sugar in chocolate,
was
all the way
in
to no
Ecuador.
sugar, it was fire. All the way to no sugar. So from no sugar all the way to just sugar, chocolate is dope. And it's useful.
If
It's
it
useful.
if it was dope, how
If
come
it was
nobody's...
dope.
If it was dope, chocolate with no sugar. Why is that not something you can really... Like, other than like big ass brick or baker's chocolate, which also looks stepped on. No one's... Because dark chocolate... Because like they've given us dark chocolate, given us milk chocolate, given all those things, right? So dark chocolate is chocolate that has no milk in it. Is that what dark chocolate is? Like,
No, dark chocolate has less sugar, almost no ingredients. Like when you see the percentages of like the cacao in it, that's when you know it's like truly not only just quality but also healthier for you, because there's almost no ingredients at all.
so
The
you
only
put these-
ingredient will be what they put in it with the mix. So if you have like a matcha dark chocolate, you'll read it and it'll say like the bittersweet chocolate, the matcha green, and cane sugar will usually be like one of the last ingredients, which means they put the least of that in there.
They let these people put grass in this chocolate?
You can put anything in chocolate.
What about matcha?
Yeah,
Tastes like grass.
I've had it and they made it very good.
It's grass. It's very complicated to make, but it tastes like fresh lawn.
Because your vanilla is like a platform. You said it yourself,
Don't
it's
say
a carrier.
mine. No one's
right.
making money off it. Okay, I'm not making no money off of this vanilla. You're not making no money off of this vanilla. So you're not making no money off this chocolate. Okay.
Then vanilla in general is like a carrier. It's a platform. It's like an elevator floor. All right.
But it can also...
Chocolate is the whole house.
No,
It's
but
the
thing
whole
is, it
house
can
you're
be
in.
But vanilla can be at... Listen, when you look at these specialty flavor ice creams, chocolate is not always the base. Because if you put a bunch of stuff in a chocolate ice cream, it just tastes like chocolate ice cream. Right? But vanilla, throw a little caramel swirl in it. Throw a little fudge swirl. Hey, do both. You're an American. Nobody can stop you. You're awful. So out here throwing all kinds of things in this ice cream, right? Because it's a collaborator, okay? Chocolate is a bully. It's pushing all other flavors out the way. Like,
this
I
is
do
insane. This is wild. Hey, I'm telling you, as someone who's been where you are right now, this is a mirror, okay? I'm trying to help you the way you tried to help me. Chocolate is a bully.
Okay, it's sitting up melting in your hands, getting all over your face, making you look like that you ain't a college graduate. All right?
But why are there so many chocolate candies and there aren't that many vanilla candies? We've already
Because of the
established
nature-
that bars.
Because of the nature of the plant. For the same reason that there's orange juice and not pine juice. There's no flower, like you get juice out of fruit. We're not asking plants that don't have fruit to be juice. So
Wait, what was that apple juice versus pine juice thing?
You're saying that there's no vanilla bars, and there's no vanilla bars because of the nature of vanilla.
And now I'm asking why there's no vanilla. There's no vanilla M&Ms. There's no vanilla. You know what I'm saying? Like loose candies.
Because it is a flavor that comes from. It's think of it like more like a herb, because it's a plant that gives you a flavor. So like your bay leaves, oreganos, stuff like that. So you're not going to get the same things out of vanilla that you get out of chocolate because of the nature of the plant. You can't squeeze vanilla and get oil. Like you can't get oil out of you can get soybean oil, canola. I still don't know what a canola is. But
yeah, I've never met a canola.
I've never seen her in the streets. I've never seen her out here working. She does what she does, right?
Yeah.
But also sesame oil, what a tiny seed. with a tiny seed.
Giving us flavor.
Giving us flavor, bro.
Like I remember the first time I had something with sesame oil in it, I was like, I think that must have been the devil, because that was just too much flavor hitting me all at once. That was insane.
And you've ever eaten a sesame seed? It didn't give you all of that.
No, I've had an everything bagel and it tastes like nothing.
Nothing. So the fact that like they're really out here, they were like, listen, we got these tiny ass seeds. We're gonna squeeze on this plant. We're gonna do something out here, right?
What I will offer up though is to your point of think of it as an herb. There are herbs that can be candied that we have. Mints. A mint is an herb, right? Isn't a mint an herb?
You're boiling. There's vanilla candy. We know there's vanilla candy.
I know there's vanilla candy. I'm asking you to offer up what vanilla candies stack up to all the chocolate candies that are out there. I'm not saying why aren't there any. I'm saying what do you think is a good vanilla candy?
Honestly, my favorite candy is Reese's Pieces.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, why would you tell me?
Well,
why would you offer it up on camera?
It used to be Butterfingers. It was Snickers, Butterfingers.
Oh,
and then
you're killing me right now.
And then I just got to the source where it was just like, I just want peanut butter. That's all I want. So now my favorite candy is Reese's Pieces.
I will throw it out there one more time because I feel like I didn't quite get my question answered from before.
Well, what?
We both agree
that
we had chocolate in all of its forms here. And it wasn't until we either traveled abroad or had the chocolate from abroad that we were like, wow, this is it. Right?
Yeah.
I'm asking why you think that the vanilla that we have isn't better in other places. I'll offer it up, extend the olive branch. I've never had Madagascar vanilla, but I also haven't had any vanilla that was better than the vanilla I grew up with. And that's where the refinement is bumping me, because you talk about refined sophistication, can't be everywhere, can't be doing everything. But then when it's doing any other thing, it tastes just like it did when it was doing the other stuff.
Wow. So did you ever have the vanilla Tootsie Roll?
I did.
When Tootsie Roll came out with flavors, now I can say Tootsie Roll don't do chocolate that great. So I was not impressed, but I can tell you it was the strawberry one that they did.
The strawberry, the orange is pretty good.
Banging. I think Tootsie Roll has really just missed the mark. Like, fuck it. Just roll it.
Should have been flavors the whole time.
Should have been flavors the whole time.
I would agree with that. I have no problem offering up that not every chocolate company is doing chocolate to the degree that it deserves.
Right.
But I just don't know what vanilla is doing. I feel like vanilla is the flavor of the 1700s. It's just its time has passed.
I don't think its time has passed. I think it's still giving us, because there's we've got vanilla fudge, we got other vanilla candies, little cream savers. That's vanilla. Vanilla fudge. I was surprised about it. Also, I realized vanilla is fudge is too much for me sometimes. Mm-hmm. So I can always get down with fudge.
Now, is every fudge chocolate?
No. You can have the toffee fudge. Remember when
toffee fudge. Yeah.
You have different flavors of fudge. I thought fudge had to be chocolate. Until I went to college with a lot of white women, and they were like, "Oh no, girl, you can make fudge anything." But there's peanut butter fudge. You've had peanut butter fudge.
Yeah, I've had peanut butter fudge. I just assumed that there was a little bit of chocolate in it.
Now, I can say I don't know what the hell fudge is, truly. I saw a girl make
fudge just seems
sometimes.
congealed of the thing that you're eating.
I think there's condensed milk in it. I think there's a thing. You can make fudge different. I've had peppermint fudge, all kinds of fudge. Because, we've all been to a mountain town. And been to a, oh my God, I just had the word for it. General store. But yeah, I'm just saying that, no, there's not a lot. I don't know there's a lot of mainstream, out here every day, vanilla candies. No, that's not a thing. While chocolate is everywhere. But
Maybe it's the demand and they have to up the supply.
What are you talking about? Chocolate?
Yeah. I think that vanilla, maybe it's just not in demand like that. So then they get by how they can get by. You have to get it how you live, as they say.
So you're
You know, in the streets.
and if anybody's in the streets, it's chocolate. Vanilla is a flavor. Chocolate is a thing. If that makes sense.
Nope. I will not let you do this. This is how conspiracy theories start. This is no. Vanilla is a flavor. Chocolate is a thing. All right. And it's not a thing from this world. And it's an inside job. You can find the real chocolate, the original chocolate at Area 52. That's the area they don't tell you about. Nah.
What I'm saying, for the same way that, like, in the same way that mint can't be a bar.
Mm-hmm.
Mint doesn't do what chocolate does. But you're not out here attacking mint.
Because other people have not had the audacity to compare mint and chocolate. They'll put the mint in chocolate.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm comparing flavors.
Mm-hmm.
You are trying to compare carriers of the flavors. Bars, cakes, ice cream. So I'm talking about the flavor.
I'm with you. I'm just saying, I'm proving that there's a better flavor by where it goes and what it can do and how many people want it in all its forms. So you're saying that because it has a bigger distribution because of the nature of the plant, because of what it can become. I'll make a full plain flavor argument right now. Okay. In a chocolate milkshake and a vanilla milkshake at a diner, a mistake that I often see it happen. I've had it happen to me throughout my entire life. When you get a vanilla milkshake,
yes,
the ratio of milk can be off, and it can easily be off because vanilla is a carrier. The distribution of milk and chocolate in a chocolate shake is much harder to mess up, because if you put too much milk in a chocolate shake, it's not even going to look like a chocolate shake. It's going to look like a dirty milk, you know?
So you're saying just because vanilla and milk are both white?
No, I'm saying what I've had happen to me in my life has been milkshakes, whether they were chocolate or vanilla. The vanilla, sometimes it can't even overpower the milk. Now I'm just drinking some cold milk with some ice in it with a little bit of vanilla flavor.
So because you've been to a diner owned by some cheap motherfuckers who bought cheap ass ice cream, or thought that somebody wouldn't notice because they didn't put enough vanilla ice cream in to this milkshake, this is vanilla's fault? Because I've had some very amazing vanilla milkshakes, but honestly, my milkshake of choice is strawberry or a cookies and cream, or have you been to the Chick-fil-A and had
the peach?
That's the peach one.
Oh, the lemonade one,
the frosted lemonade,
or
a mint cookies and cream shake.
I mean, the fact that you're not saying vanilla is a bit telling.
I've said vanilla, and I also said other things that I like. Because, one, I'm not always a milkshake person, okay? But you know what I love? I love a Blizzard from Dairy Queen. But yeah, all I'm saying is that I'm not trying to win here.
Real quick, I'm so sorry. I'm just, because I also know we have to wrap up soon. You reminded me. You know how at Dairy Queen they're supposed to flip the Blizzard upside down to show you how thick it is, and there's nothing like when it falls out, because the cashier and the driver just looking at it on the ground, and then they got to go do another one. But it's when the confidence that they flip it. And it almost never falls out. So then when it's a little too thin and they go...
Well, that's why. You ever seen on the British Baking Show? They're like, oh, your meringue is good if you can turn it over above your head and it doesn't fall out. And I'm like, why are we testing this that way?
It doesn't have to be the head. Yeah,
it doesn't have to be your head. It could go over your workbench. I would test it over a trash can. Like, why is it? Because you'll see him just like looking up at it like, I hope it doesn't fall out. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're international television. you must trust you a lot, or you trust these peaks to really be popping like this. I know that a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but that's because we all love a chocolate bar. You know, it wasn't, Charlie and the Vanilla Factory. That didn't happen. So I understand that people have a place in their hearts for chocolate. I didn't expect to win this. Okay? I just wanted to have the discussion. So listen, I'm Dulce Sloan, okay, on the things DULCESLOAN, on all of the social media platforms that make you question your self-esteem. And this is my friend, my cohort, my buddy,
Josh Johnson. And you can find me on all the stuff at Josh Johnson Comedy. TikTok, YouTube, all that stuff. Hit me up on Instagram. Let us know in the comments of these videos that get posted what you think. And feel free to let us know what you'd love to hear us talk about next. If there's a classic duo that you think one's better than the other, if there's a classic rivalry that you want to get our thoughts on, y'all just let us know. But we appreciate you listening. We hope you had fun listening. And I hope you have a great day into the weekend.
Call your mom.